I was born and raised here in New Cumberland, and this theater itself was part of our childhood.
Childhood memories, coming to the matinees, and then as a teenager asking girls to go to the movies, and then as an adult coming whenever I could. So it's got a lot of memories for me.
I remember coming to matinees when I was a kid, watching monster movies and westerns, and my brother and I spoke recently. We sat through the movie How the West Was Won twice. We liked it so much in this theater, right in a row. So that means a lot.
We were made aware about a year ago that the theater was in bankruptcy, and we did not want to lose the theater for the fear that it could be in the hands of something that we couldn't control anymore. And we wanted to be able to keep it as a community theater. And so I got a group of businessmen and community leaders together and figured out a way we could obtain the theater. And we had a gracious borough resident buy the theater and give it to us on a very generous lease to buy program.
Every little town around here had one of these theaters, and they're all gone. You know, Camp Hill would, I'm sure they would just love to have their theater back, and it was torn down in the late 70s. And Shiremanstown, Mechanicsburg, they all had theaters. Lemoyne had a theater on Market Street, and it's gone. And we're the last one, and we want to see it survive.
First thing that I'd like to point out, which I think is really cool, is the hand-painted ceiling. And we're looking to get that cleaned up. That's going to be maybe phase 5 because it costs a lot. And there was smoking in here for years, so I can only imagine how those colors would pop if it was cleaned up. And we're definitely going to keep that. And if you look at the walls, you see the nice Art Deco painting along the scrim. Whether this wall goes away or not, which it probably will, we want to keep the artwork. So whatever replaces these walls will have this same artwork on it, which I feel is really important to the history of the theater. We are going to be making a lot of renovations, but we also want to keep what people remember, and we want to keep it. We want to keep the historic value up. You know. This is the projection room, and on the floor there's part of the old 35mm camera, and then the guts of it are behind you there.
The projector.
Yeah, and at some point, once we get our renovations back up and going, and once we're ready to open, I think it'd be really cool to have this old girl on display downstairs to show people what it looked like when they had the big reels on it going. So it's not that way anymore. Everything's digital, and you download all the movies. But yeah, this is the projection room, and I love looking out the window and get a good look at that ceiling and the walls. It's a pretty cool shot from up here. Checking out the old vintage artwork.
We are just now in the architectural phase. We would think that we have our capital campaign going to be starting in early spring. We're hoping to get started and be able to, by the end of the year, to be up and running.
Okay, and what's coming up here on Thursday?
Thursday is Encore. Encore gives a chance for the community to come back and reminisce what the theater looked like. It's probably going to be the last chance they're going to see it the way they remember it. We're also going to have architectural drawings of what the theater is going to look like. The architect will be here. We'll be showing a 1940 film, The Great Train Robbery. We'll have food and beverages, and it'll be a chance for everybody to get together and see what our plans are, which are the community plans.